What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this edition of Game Time Live. We are coming to you on this Monday afternoon. We are going to be talking NFL and NBA. I've got my co-host Darrell with me here today. Darrell, great to have you in on the show here today. We are recapping Week 7 of the NFL and the Zay's Ways NBA tier list debuting. But before we get to the NFL tier list, I want to get your thoughts on the NFL this week. Obviously, we've got two Monday night games tonight. Buccaneers are playing. I think the Seahawks and Texans are playing. But Buccaneers-Lions, that's going to be a big one. But your thoughts on the Sunday slate yesterday?
Man, a lot of good stuff, man. Looks like the Colts may be for real after all. They put a whooping on the Chargers yesterday. Don't let the 14 points make you think it was a close game. They were fighting the whole game. Colts look good on offense. Real active on defense, man. I'm very impressed. I got to give credit where the credit is due. Colts looked good yesterday. And then the other team that really is surprising a little bit is the Dallas Cowboys. They thumped the Washington Commanders. That game wasn't close either. They shut them out in the fourth quarter. Jaden Daniels got hurt. Those things happen. So they have backup quarterbacks. They played a hell of a game yesterday as well. So. And then Jacksonville getting thumped overseas in the horrible situation in Europe. So we had Jacksonville almost to tier 1, and now we're probably going to drop them because of getting shellacked yesterday. So a lot of good storylines from yesterday for sure.
No, I'm excited. It's going to be a good show. Probably about an hour or so we will be on. It's going to be a really good show. Are you ready for the tier list? Zay's Ways NFL tier list. Are you ready?
Gotta have it.
It's time. Here we go. There is the tier list. We're gonna do I have an NBA one ready as well. Let me get us fixed so that way we are on screen. All right, let me zoom in here. There we go. We will start on the NFC side of things. Hold on. It's only right that I do this too. I didn't drum it up like I did last week. So there we go. My apologies. Almost forgot to, got to give it that gravitas a little bit. It's only right. Get that graphic down there. All right. NFC tier 5, long way to go. I have Giants and Saints once again. Really close to moving the Giants up, but they lose. They were up 19-0 over the Broncos. 33 unanswered points by Denver to win the game in the fourth quarter on Sunday. How about them Broncos, Darrell?
Man, I hate to say it, but Sean Payton may be the wizard. This dude, he brought that team back from the dead a couple years ago. They've continued to get better each week. They got a quarterback who's not a young kid by any stretch of imagination, but I think he's the right kid in the right spot for that coach and that team. So kudos to Denver for not quitting, not giving up, and fighting till the end.
Yes, I would agree with you. Saints are going to be the Saints. No problem there. Tier 4, I've got the Vikings and I've got the Panthers. So there is a team missing from this tier. I have moved one of those teams up. Nothing really much to say here. Vikings are just Panthers. Panthers are continuing to roll.
You got to beat the teams in front of you. That's the only team you can beat, the team that's in front of you for that Sunday or that Monday or that Thursday.
Yeah.
But the Panthers are showing a little bit of life. Right? We had them, I think, if I remember right, we had them 31. I mean, it's a long way to go yet. Season's not over yet. But the Panthers and Mr. Darrell, the running back, hello, Chuba Hubbard, hello, waiver wire. So Mr. Darrell has taken over that spot, I think, and I don't think he's looking to relinquish it anytime soon.
Yeah. What is next? Tier 3. There is some movement here in Tier 3. I've got the newly put Bears in tier number 3. I've got the 49ers still here. I've got the Falcons in tier 3. I've got the Cardinals in tier 3, and I've got the Commanders who have dropped down to tier 3. So we've had a new addition, and we've had somebody move down, and we've also had a team leave tier 3. We'll swap with somebody that is now in tier 2. So Commanders, reason I dropped them down is Jaden Daniels once again tweaked his knee, it looked like yesterday.
Hamstring. They said hamstring.
Okay. Their season is just, I really, if this continues, I don't know if they should try to make a playoff push. I would just worry about Jaden Daniels' health. I don't want to see another RG3 situation. I don't care if that they're in the division. I'm not going to wish injury on nobody. Cardinals, they're there. They're fighting. They had a close game against the Packers, almost won that game. So that's why I didn't drop them down to I don't know yet. Falcons, it was a hard-fought game against the Niners. They came up short. I thought they were going to be able to maybe send this game to OT. They were not able to. They're still here, but they're on the fringe. I'm probably dropping them to tier 4 if they can't get a win here.
I was looking at this. My concern is tier 3 with what happened with the Commanders. To your point earlier about Jaden Daniels, he's going to miss some time.
Yeah,
this isn't an all of a sudden. Terry McLaurin has been out since signing his deal, right? Deebo Samuels has never been a game breaker. He's always been an ancillary piece, a good piece to have. Him being the lead guy at a 4.48 speed doesn't bode well. You remember they traded Brian Robinson Jr. at the beginning of the season for those young running backs.
Yeah,
and now's the time they need a guy that they could lean on in the running game, a big guy that can get them some first downs. I think Washington Commanders, in my view, after the results of yesterday and the big picture, I would have dropped them down to 4.
That's fair. You know what?
Yeah.
I may do
just because of that, right? Not knocking them. I like them, right? I like what they've done. But Jaden Daniels, like, he's going to miss some real time.
Yeah,
that running game has not come through like they thought it would. They got fast guys, but they need a powerful guy, right? And the defense has left something to be imagined as well.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Tier number 2, I have the Rams, I have the Seahawks, and the newly added Dallas Cowboys in tier number 2. And Darrell, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because there is a video that I want to show you. It is from Dallas's Instagram page, and it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
I just figured you would throw some more hate at Dallas.
No. It's this video right here. Every time they win, Schottenheimer, they post this video of him reading off these stats. And I can't lie, like these videos right here, they make me buy into Schottenheimer more and more and more because it does feel like there is a different culture in that locker room than there was when McCarthy was there. When Garrett was there. It really feels like I really like the Schottenheimer hire, and if they can figure out the defense next year, I do. There is a part of me, a very small part of me, that the fandom is slowly starting to creep back in. I said tomorrow night when the Lakers play at 10 o'clock, I don't care about the Cowboys no more. But a part of me, every time I watch these videos after a win, I can't help but be a bit excited about what the future of the Dallas Cowboys may hold.
Well, clearly it's piqued your interest because you're still watching them on Instagram. So I know you got all this vitriol and pent up anger towards them, but you're watching them every day. You're seeing what's going on. You're following them every day. Just admit it. And as we talked about, and I'm not, I told you so, but Schottenheimer he's a great bloodline, man. This guy's not some scrub, and just because Jerry didn't hire the guy that people thought, he should hire, doesn't mean it was a bad choice. I like Schottenheimer from the word go. If you read his story, you'd have to like this guy, man. Read his whole story from as a young man with Marty as his dad, losing his dad, him staying in the coaching. Yeah, I like his story, and I like what he's done, man.
Yeah, no, I'm Schottenheimer.
Dakota Prescott. Dakota Prescott, my man.
Shout out Dakota Prescott. He is an MVP candidate right now, and I can't disagree with you on that. Tier number 1 stays the same. Eagles, Bucks, Packers, Lions. Nothing changes there.
Packers had a scare. You got to give. They had a little bit of a scare, and listen, every game isn't going to be a 17-point win for you if you're a great team, right? You're going to have to eat some of those wins out and tough it out. And that's exactly what they did. Very impressive yesterday with them hanging in there yesterday for sure.
Yep. Over to the AFC. I've got tier 5. Long way to go. We might as well call this the coach firing tier, other than probably the Raiders. But
you got to flip it. Okay.
I've got the Dolphins. I've got the Titans. I've got the Jets with ... Yikes. I've got the Raiders and I've got the Ravens twice to emphasize how bad they've truly been once again. This tier does not move. All these teams down here are complete and utter garbage. All the coaches need to be. And you know what? I have come around to you on Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh does need to go.
I'm not saying he's going. I'm just saying his story is stale. He's continued to do the same thing, says the same thing, and in big games, he's dropped the ball. He's panicked. I'll never wish for a guy to get fired, but he's been there a long time, and I'm sure that the natives in Baltimore are getting restless because they're seeing the same story.
Yeah,
they've got to come back after the bye week and do something. If they don't, there may be some loud whispers about Mr. Harbaugh and his opportunity to stay there in Baltimore. But again, it's not just him. It starts with him, but it's not just him. The players have underperformed. My guy Derrick Henry, after week 2, I thought he was going to be an MVP candidate. Nothing pretty much since then. You got your quarterback who's been hurt, and even when he wasn't hurt, he's out there getting sacked 8 times in a game. Yeah. So Baltimore's got a lot more holes than we thought at the beginning of the season for sure.
Yeah, I've got the Texans and the Browns in tier 4. Browns got a good win this week. Texans are just kind of there. I don't like that. That's what this tier is for, because it's like I just don't know how to gauge them yet.
Well, Texans are coming. Their defense is continuing to play well. Maybe there's a pulse with C.J. Stroud tonight. They've got that big game tonight, right? I think
Seattle.
Yeah. Big game tonight. Big game tonight. And then on the Brown side, Dylan Gabriel looks like an okay guy going forward.
Yeah,
things could change. He didn't make a bunch of mistakes yesterday. He managed the team. Granted, it was against the Dolphins, who look like they've given up. They're mad at their quarterback for throwing players who didn't come to meetings under the bus. Then he comes out and apologizes. Then you got the coach talking in circles about wins and losses and teams and people or whatever that is. A lot of people are saying that today or tomorrow may be his last opportunity to be coaching in South Beach as well. Miami looks like a dumpster fire, and as much as I love Tua being a good guy, I really believe he's underperformed, which has put that team in a bad position. And it didn't hurt losing the Cheetah in week 3 either as well.
I think it's time to make a move when you're in Miami. It's time to make some changes. McDaniel's got to go. Tua's got to go. Only person I'm keeping is Waddle. They got to make some changes down there for sure. Tier 3, I've got the Chargers now down here. I've got the Jags now down here, and then I've got the Bengals staying in tier 3. They get the win on Thursday Night Football. So I was going to move them down. If they lost, they win. So I keep them in there. Chargers and Jags both move down. Chargers to your point, right? It wasn't close in the first half. Second half, they got a lot of points. Couldn't close the show. We'll see how they do next week. But the Colts are legit. That is the best takeaway from that game. And then the Chargers, it was rough. Rough game.
Hey, listen, let's give kudos to Joe Flacco. He was left for dead. Everybody was clowning the Cincinnati Bengals, including those of us who are on this show, about getting a pedestrian statuesque quarterback who couldn't get out of the way behind a struggling offensive line. Right? What he did the other night wasn't a miracle, but it was exceptional. The only question I have is, can he will his 41-year-old body back to doing it back to back to back? That's the question I have for Joe Flacco. He helped stabilize things. He definitely looked a lot better than the backup quarterback that they had, Browning, right? But can he back to back it, right? That's going to be the difference with regard to Joe Flacco, can he or cannot, right? In my opinion. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars, I probably would not have moved them down. And the reason I wouldn't have moved them down is just simple. It's a European game. It stinks. Everything about it stinks. They hit, they got hit in the mouth in the beginning of the game and they never recovered. That's not the Jacksonville Jaguars that thumped Kansas City. That's not the Jacksonville Jaguars that started off, winning 4 out of their first 5 games. So I give them a mulligan on this situation. Maybe some of the players are like me. They don't like them playing overseas in a farce of a game. So I personally, I would not have moved them down to tier 3. I give them a mulligan for that. But then the Chargers, they got to a great start. We remember you were talking about 3-game lead on the Chiefs. Now it's 1.
Now it's 1.
And they don't and the running game looked pedestrian.
Well,
we use that word a lot. We were excited about Omarion before he went down.
When you lose both running backs, things change. Yeah.
So looking a little shot. That quarterback's got to put a little bit more on his shoulders. They got some good receivers, but they're not very fast.
Yeah.
They're not very fast.
Tier 2. I do have a new team in here. The Broncos up to tier 2. I've got the Chiefs, I've got the Steelers, and I've got the Patriots. Patriots are rocking and rolling. Mike Vrabel. Drake May made a little joke to Vrabel after they beat Tennessee. It was a locker room video. He's like, "Hey man, we're happy that you're our coach." so that was a nice little dig there by Drake May. I like what the Patriots are doing. I'm very happy with what is going on in New England. Steelers, they're in the playoffs. Hopefully Brandon Reap isn't watching right now, but I still feel like
bad, man. That was a bad loss. Bad loss.
I still feel like the Steelers are a wild card loss at best, even though they're winning the division.
Let me tell you this. I defended them last week. We always talk about guys stealing money and guys not performing. Somebody needs to go find Mr. Watt and arrest him because he is stealing from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is 23rd in defensive rush ends for the season. 23rd. But he's the 3rd highest paid edge rusher. Yeah. They paid him for what he's done in the past. Up to this point, he's stolen money. He's never been a run stopper. And if he's not getting to the quarterback causing havoc, and you're talking about a 41-year-old Joe Flacco, that was a time for him to really take advantage and really make his mark. And then the guy they've got from Baltimore, number 6, I forget his name, he's been just as bad. But those two guys have been terrible for the Pittsburgh Steelers the last 2 games. If they keep that up, to your point about a wild card loss, hell, if Cincinnati turns the ship around, it could be some challenges for the Steelers, period. I still like what they've done on offense, but man, Watt, he is stealing money. And I heard no one say anything about Watt stealing money. We talk about other guys stealing money. Look up the statistical data on Mr. Watt in Pittsburgh. Well, and you tell me.
Luckily, we don't steal money. We have been given money thanks to our sponsor, Mack Gadis at State Farm. So big props to him as well. Just thought that would be a nice little tie-in right there as you brought that up.
We ain't stealing. We're earning every penny.
So thank you to Mack Gadis once again. And thank you to everybody, by the way, on yesterday's video, the live stream with Corey Alford. If on X, Darrell, over 500 views on the Corey Alford live stream on X yesterday. A very well received episode. I mean, I couldn't be more proud of how this went. Right now, Darrell, this video with Corey Alford on X has about it's insane. It's got about 600 views, but the tweet itself has about 3,000 views, 3,000 people have seen the tweet, 6 retweets. I mean, we've got a lot of people interacting with that post. Even Coach McClung replied, and I said, "Coach, we're going to get you next." So we're going to be working on getting Coach McClung from Valparaiso. So it's going to be fun. Thank you guys for all the love on that video, even the love on YouTube. At YouTube, it's at about 60 views, so not bad at all.
I got to share this about Corey, right? So, being an Indiana kid, seeing his dad play his last high school game that I saw him play at Hinkle Fieldhouse against Broad Ripple when he was 25-25 from the line, 50-some-odd points, Mr. Basketball. That dude is as regular can be. We talked about things off air and, and on air, and he was as easy a conversation to have with a guy who woke up and had the limelight in his face. All he's done is what I've seen, do a hell of a job at Huntington, going down to Oral Roberts, very humble guy. Took a little bit of a step back, associate head coach. I'm telling you, man, Oral Roberts better appreciate him right now because he ain't gonna last long there. That dude has star written all over him, and we got in on the ground floor. So I'm really appreciative of that too. So hopefully, Corey, I know you said you watched some of the show, so make sure you're watching this, and let's make sure we can stay tied in for quite a while.
Yeah, shout out Corey Alford. Thank you to Cascade Hoops Talk as well for filling in yesterday.
Billy D.
He brought some great questions to the interview. Yes, Billy D. So thank you to Billy D. He will be continuing to cover the NAIA, and we'll be covering the NAIA a little bit too. So we'll definitely have Cascade back on here in the coming weeks. Tier 1, Darrell, not much to say here. I've got the Bills and I've got the Colts. Colts are rolling. They're rolling.
Listen, I've knocked them. I've been against them. I've said things about the previous ownership, how he wasn't really, engaged. It seems as though young Mrs. Irsay, I know she got like another hyphenated name.
It's Carlisle Irsay Gordon,
yeah.
I think.
Maybe she's got a secret sauce. That it seems like the players love her. I saw videos where guys on the sidelines hugging her after a win. Now, listen, there's going to be some downtimes this season. Make sure you hang in there. Make sure you hang in there and you stay steady. Don't let the highs be too high and don't let the lows be too low. But that offense and that dude, I'm gonna say Johnny Taylor. I'm thinking about one of my mom's favorite singers back in the 70s, Johnny Taylor. Man, balled out yesterday. Danny Dimes is the truth. That I don't know how the heck Chicago Bears drafted Loveland over Warren as a tight end. That amazes me. He played great yesterday. Offensive line played great. Quentin Nelson looks like he's got another gear in now. Yeah. He was making a lot of mistakes last year and the prior years. Man, he looks fresh, fired up. Man, I'm impressed with the Colts, man. Go shoot. Yeah. Go shoot.
Go Colts. Go Colts for sure. Happy for the Colts. Happy for my stepdad. He's the Colts fan around here. I'm not the biggest Colts fan.
We know.
Props to the Colts. I'm very happy for it. The city of Indianapolis. And I said this before the season started. I said after Halliburton got hurt, this would be the perfect pick-me-up if the Colts could have a good season. And, man, good season has been blown out of the water. I mean,
not yet. Remember, we're only 6-1. We gotta
change.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Fair. It's 17 games. So think about this. It's 10 games left.
Yeah.
10 games left. And it's a long season. They got to stay as fresh as possible, man.
Yeah. But Darrell,
I see it.
It's time, man. I'm so ready. I see it. Is back in 24 hours. I've got the Zay's Ways NBA debut. It's time to debut this tier list. I am so ready to go.
Oh my God.
There it is. First tier list. We've done a little upgrade. Look at this. Made it last night. Probably not going to do this for the NFL because we already got that one just kind of done. But next season, I will probably do one sort of like this for the NFL. But NBA tier list. Starting with, we've got these tiers are a bit different towards the NBA. So we've got
slide up one. You're at the playoffs mark.
Yeah. But that's for it's for a reason.
Fair enough. Sorry about that. Sorry.
So, no, you're all good. We've got 5 tiers, just like the NFL one. We've got draft lottery. We've got I don't know. We've got play-in tournament. We've got playoffs. And then we've got Larry O'Brien is kind of how we've got that listed. Championship contender, if you will. All right. Draft lottery. That is where we'll start. We are in the Eastern Conference. I've got the Chicago Bulls. And Darrell, if you see right here, this second team here, it's a dumpster on fire. That's actual footage of the Brooklyn Nets. So that's the Brooklyn Nets right there.
I still need to know, what do you have so against the Brooklyn Nets? Something's there.
They trashed their draft pick. I mean, they absolutely just...
The Bulls have done that for years.
They missed.
The Hornets have done that for years.
They missed. Nets are just a horrid franchise. Horrid
I'm gonna
franchise.
find out what's going on with you in the Nets.
There's nothing wrong, but
there's something going on there.
They're not a good franchise. They're probably the worst franchise right now in the NBA.
I would say the Bulls are the worst franchise. What they've done, how they desecrated the great Michael Jordan, what he did for that city. Done nothing since. They ran Derrick Rose in the ground, and now what? This is ultimate. They've got a lineage. New Jersey Nets have never done anything. They've always been terrible.
That's why they got that beautiful picture right there.
Lord have mercy.
That's why they got that beautiful picture right there. Tier 4, I don't know. I only have one team in this tier, Darrell, because I think me and you both are a bit interested to watch them this year, and that is the Washington Wizards this year. We'll see how Alex Sarr plays.
We talked about that, right? The young, very athletic team and long, right?
Yeah.
Washington has been terrible for years as well. Years. But I think there's a little something in the air in DC. Maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. They got those young players, and maybe, just maybe, this is their chance. Not championship-wise, but to become a respectful organization. That's all you want anyway.
I think there is a chance for them to make the play-in, and the reason I think that is because of the two teams I have in play-in tier. That's the Heat, the Sixers, the Hornets, and Raptors. By the way, they're in order of who I like the most from who I like the least. Unlike the NFL. So I have the Heat getting the first play-in spot, so that means they would be 7th. I have the Sixers at 8th. I have the Hornets at 9th, and I have the Raptors at 10th. Sixers, I'm being a bit nice to Philadelphia, which I probably shouldn't be because I know Embiid and Paul George aren't going to play. But this is the scenario that Embiid and Paul George don't play that well. But I will say their guard play, Edgecombe, Quentin Grimes, Maxey, they're going to be fast. And I think that is going to help them a lot. They'll be fast. If Paul George and Embiid can play, man, if you give them both 50 games, I think the Sixers could be higher than this. I think they could get by Boston and Indiana in the East record-wise. We'll see. But I think the big two for me is Philly and Charlotte, right? If LaMelo stays healthy, I think the Hornets could be the best team out of these four that I have in the play-in group. Toronto is a big question mark. I almost put them in I don't know, but I think right now Toronto's a better team than the other three below them. But my big question marks are Charlotte and Philadelphia. What are your thoughts on the teams in this tier? And Miami, only reason I've got Miami here is because they're in the worst spot you can be in as an NBA team. You're not good enough to win. You're not bad enough to lose.
But my challenge is just going in order. Miami is stuck in the middle. The natives are getting restless with Pat Riley. You've seen a lot of that over in the offseason. Bam looks very engaged with his fiance, and looks like maybe he's kind of giving a little bit of different perspective from a dedicated, committed guy. Maybe he still is. I'm not saying he's not, but he likes having a lot of fun in the offseason, right? 76ers. You should put a side dumpster fire there too. Paul George stole money for 5 years, going on a 5-year deal.
Yeah,
he's already out. I think he's out for game 1. I don't know how. He's already had more podcasts in the postseason, in the offseason than he had in the regular season. Games, right? Is Embiid going to be able to get you 50 games this year?
We'll see. I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
they're a stud rookie. They got some good. They got a good rookie. What's out of Edgecombe? Yeah, Edgecombe looks like he's as advertised.
Yeah,
my guy Tyrese Maxey's there, but I'm sure he's tired of the mess.
Yeah,
I say they're maybe a play-in tournament team, but they can say if Joel Embiid has lost weight and all those things you want, that weight doesn't matter. He's still on those brittle legs and that body of his.
Yeah.
I think I said to you in the beginning of the offseason, I said, 55 games tops for him.
Yep. Yeah. What about Charlotte? Thoughts on Charlotte and Toronto?
I don't like their point guard, man.
LaMelo.
I don't like Ball. I don't think he's a winning player. I think he's a highlight player. I think he's a show me player. And it's not about the Ball family, because I think Lonzo is a hell of a pro. I think he's a hell of a pro. I think he's a solid dude. He's a good guy. And he just balls out as best he can. Granted, his injuries have taken a toll on him, and he'll never realize the potential that we thought he would have. Right. I don't like the point guard for the Hornets, and I think it's bad karma and bad mojo for that team. I don't think Charlotte gets out of a playing opportunity at all. I think they are where they're going to be. He's a talented player. Miller's a talented third year guy. I love Miller from Alabama, but I everything runs through the point guard, and I just don't like it.
I'd be shocked if Chicago gets into another playing spot. I really think Charlotte, if Brandon Miller's healthy, LaMelo will obviously be out a couple games.
I can playing. I just don't think he's a winning player. I think he just and I guess it's not personal, but when you go to games, he cusses more than any player I've heard other than Steven Jackson when he was with the Pacers. He cusses all the time. Like, man, settle down. It's just always MF, this, N-word, this. Enough's enough, man. If you ask people, he is always chirping about something. At least Draymond, he's chirping, but he's not always cussing people out.
Yeah.
But he's got power behind it. This guy he gets on the floor just cussing everybody out.
Thoughts on Toronto? Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes, and then they've got some nice
Ingram. Ingram was the poor man's, Kevin Durant.
He's got to stay healthy too.
Yeah. But Scotty Barnes is I think is going to be the straw that stirs that drink. He's got to take another jump this season. If so, they can be a really good team.
Yep. All right, NBA playoff tier. I've got the Hawks, Bucks, Pacers, Celtics. That is in order.
Man,
that is in order.
I think you're underselling my Pacers. Yes,
okay,
I'm biased.
Well, sorry,
yes,
I mean, the Pacers.
Yes, I'm a homer. I'll admit it. I have some bias. Yes, I'm a homer. I'll admit
Pacers would be 7 and 8, which means the Heat and Sixers are 9 and 10. I got that.
I'm going to say Pacers 5 or 6. You can replace who you want, but the top 4, I've got no argument with at all. The top 4, I've got no. And I would juggle that order. I would put Pistons at 3 for me personally.
Yep,
Orlando at 4. So I would keep that 4 as the top 4. The second 4, it just depends. Think about this. You're looking at team 7 and 8. Where are we with injuries, right? Their best players out for the season. The thing for the Pacers is, you lose Miles Turner and you replace him with 3 guys, right? Can they come up with that production that Miles had? I'm going to tell you right now, they can't. I'm going to tell you why. Because none of them can shoot a 3 like Miles. So the numbers may be very similar, but the impact is going to be different because none of those 3 guys, Jackson, Wiseman, or a guy from Memphis, none of those guys are 3 shooters like Miles was.
Yeah.
None of those guys are going to go get it at the rim on the defensive side. Also, none of those guys are going to pout and drop their head and shrug their shoulders and be defeated either when things go wrong. So for me, I want to see those. I want to see somebody take that mantle here in Indiana and say, I want to be the 25-minute guy, a game guy. I don't want to be 15, 15, 15.
Hope it's Matherin. We'll see.
No. I'm talking about big man. Big man.
Oh, big man. Okay.
But we'll see, right? I think the Pacers got enough talent. I think they are together a team and an organization, and also I think they got the best coach in the league. So with that said, I'm going to be biased, yes, and I'm going to say, give me Pacers at a 5 seed. They were 4 seed last season. Give me the Pacers at a 5 seed, maybe 6.
I've got Atlanta 5th, just because I do like the roster. I Trae Young, for as much we can say LaMelo does not equate to winning. That's fine, but Trae Young is proved.
It's also true. It's not just fine. It's
true.
True.
LaMelo's undoubtedly true. I think Trae Young will equate to winning a championship, probably not, but he can't. He has showed he can win. He in the playoffs and then just in general. So that's why I've got them there, because Trae Young has some type of baggage to kind of back up what I'm saying in this instance. And I think this is a good roster around him. I've got Milwaukee at 6. And a part of me feels like if this team can just get to playoffs, I think they have a chance to knock off anyone they want just because of 34. I think that's I could see a Bron 2018-esque playoff run for Giannis if he can get this team to the playoffs. If he can, but I'm talking about getting to the playoffs. I don't really care what the record is. I've got them at 6th, but I mean, if I'm being honest, I think Toronto could get up here in this top 8 or top 6. I think Philly
got better defensively. Milwaukee got better defensively. You got to stop somebody. So bringing Turner in is going to be a big help on the defense. Think about they had the twin Brook Lopez. That's a huge upgrade on the defensive side. Remember, they took Brook Lopez out of the game last year.
That's all you did. You bring Lopez out to the perimeter, and he's useless out there. So Turner's going to be able to defend out on the perimeter, which does help this team a lot. And it'll space the floor because Turner can shoot.
And he's motivated. He is very – I'm following him. And again, nothing he said to me has been offensive at all towards the state of Indiana or the Pacers. But I'm going to tell you, Miles Turner is as motivated as I've seen any player that left a team with that type of time frame, 10 years, and then bang.
Eli, welcome to the stream. I've got the Bulls pretty far down. I've got the Bulls down.
Yeah, you missed that, Eli. We'll recap.
I've got the Bulls down here in draft lottery. I really hope they get a good pick. I was hoping they got Cooper Flagg. You can ask Darrell that. I'm
glad he's in Dallas.
Eli also said Pacers 5th with Halliburton, I think, playing at best. They technically would be 7th. They would be 7th.
I think he's saying 5th. I think he's saying 5th in the East, but playing at worst maybe because that would be 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I would say 7, 8, 9, or 10.
I would say playing right now, but I think they would win their play-in. I think they would make the playoffs. But like I said, I think any of these teams on the bottom, probably other than Miami, I would say have a shot. Like I do really like Charlotte this year. I do like Toronto. I think the Wizards are a question mark. They probably won't make the play-in, but I think they're an interesting team to keep your eye out on. And then that's what Eli was referring to. 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9.
Eli, I bet you 50 cents on that one. Pacers would not be a play-in team. They would be a playoff team.
Okay. So you're saying they won't even play in the play-in?
No, they won't. They won't have to.
Okay.
They'll be a top 6 seed. They'll be a top 6 team. And
to all the Knicks fans, you're not winning the finals. Even if you get to the finals, you're not winning
the last time you said that, you kind of wiped some eggs. So I would just say, the Knicks got a great chance.
They do.
Got a coach who has a history of being on the sidelines and great teams. I don't like the Knicks at all. I don't like them at all. However, they got a good roster.
I would move Celtics down, Raptors up. And you know what? I don't disagree with you. I think really, for me, I think Toronto, it's about Ingram's health. For Scotty Barnes, can he take that next step? Or is he just an above average, I'm not going to say role player, but what is Scotty Barnes?
He's just a player.
What is Scotty Barnes? And I think I don't have that question yet. I think Boston, their high is making the playoffs. Their low is missing the playoffs, right? Anthony Simons, I think he's going to be great. If you're going to put the over on anybody, I think Simons will cover your over if you're going to bet come Wednesday night when the Celtics play. But I think right now, when you go from Milwaukee all the way to Toronto on my tier list, I think all these teams can be swapped out. I like Atlanta a lot to where I'm not putting them in that group, but I think from Milwaukee all the way down to Toronto, all of that can flip because I think Charlotte can surprise some people. The biggest what if in the history of what ifs is Philadelphia being healthy. If Joel Embiid can play 50 to 55 games, I think this team could really be up there when it comes to their seeding. Paul George, I think his time has truly passed, but if he can give you 15, 20 points a game per night, not going to equate to the money you paid him, but you need something out of him, right? VJ Edgecombe, I expect to have a strong rookie season. And then Tyrese Maxey, Darrell, the point guard list that we never showed the people.
He's my guy.
He's gonna have a chance to do that.
My guy. I love me some Tyrese Maxey for sure.
And I agree here. Toronto, if healthy, they're deep because he put this right here afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
Toronto is deep. They've got a lot of pieces. It's just, can they come together this season? You know, they got Ingram at the deadline. It was probably a little too late. But now they've got a fresh slate here to start off playing. So I will be watching Toronto. When I look at this tier list, I'll probably be watching a lot of these teams out east. Cleveland's probably the one team where it's like I just kind of expect them to get things done. I want to see the Knicks under Mike Brown. I do got some questions underneath my tier list here. I don't know if you guys can see these, but I've got some questions that I wrote down last night. How did the Knicks look under Mike Brown? I think the Knicks under Mike Brown are going to look a lot better. I think he's going to utilize the bench a lot. Pacers without Hallie. I expect a jump from Mathurin or Nembhard this year. There's already talks about that. The Pacers are not going to extend Benedict Mathurin past this season. Mathurin is going to have to go out and hoop if he wants to get paid. Will the Wizards look better? We've talked about the Wizards at an extensive length in the offseason. I think we both agree the Wizards are going to show some improvement this offseason. I really didn't like that they got rid of Jordan Poole, but they bring in Cam Whitmore, who's a nice young prospect as well. We'll see how the Wizards do. LaMelo, does he stay healthy? And by healthy, can he give this team 60 games? Can you give me 65 games? That is my question.
If he's your lead guy, he needs to give you 70.
Yeah.
He needs to give you 70, right? Because he's your guy. He's your franchise guy.
Yeah.
Your franchise guy, when you've been a team that's in the doldrums.
Yeah.
Him giving you 50 or 55 games isn't going to equate to anything other than what you've been doing. If he wants to make that jump and they want to make that jump, I think Mr. Ball needs to play 70 games this year. That's still 12 games being missed.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Do you think the Cavs trade for LBJ? I do not. I think LeBron will stick it out in LA. He's got 1 year left on his deal. If he wants to go back to Cleveland, he'll go there next offseason, is kind of my state of mind. And then same old hospital Sixers. I do not expect things to change for the Sixers this season. I'm giving Miami and Philly a lot of the benefit of the doubt, but I'm telling you what, things will definitely change as this season starts to kick the can down the road, as Darrell would say. Let's move over to the Western Conference, the conference that everybody just has questions and questions about. It's the most confusing conference in sports at points and times. Here is the West. We'll start with these 4 tiers right here in the Western Conference. East is weak. I don't blame you, Eli. It is weak. It's very weak. Draft lottery. I've got one team in draft lottery. I've got the Utah Jazz in draft lottery tier. I will not be watching Utah Jazz basketball this season. I may watch a couple just to see Ace Bailey, but he's already scheduled to be out come Wednesday night. So like I said, I will not be watching Utah Jazz basketball this year. I will not be watching Jazz basketball.
If this was my list and it's not, I would probably drag the Memphis Grizzlies down there too. Did you see their hospital report? Everybody's out. Everybody's already out.
Way. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this guy. I mean,
way. Where's my phone?
Yeah, they've got guys that are going to be out for weeks. The center from Purdue's out the next 6 weeks. Darrell, what's his name? Power forward is out for 4 weeks. I mean,
oh my gosh, Jaw's questionable. Ty Jerome's questionable.
I'm talking about guys that make a difference.
Out. Yeah. Jerome is their backup point guard. Pippen's their shooting guard, starting shooting guard. I mean, yeah.
Darren Jackson's out.
No, he's listed active on what I'm looking at.
He had a foot situation, I think in July, if I remember right. He was going to be missing the first part of the season.
Yeah.
Y'all
gotta move.
I mean, you don't have to. I'm just saying they.
No. I mean, they're gonna start off bad.
I would move Portland to playing if you're gonna add a team from that IDK. Or you don't have. I don't see Phoenix here, so I don't know what you do. I'll let you roll with this because
Suns have to be draft lottery Kings deep playing.
I don't see the Suns anywhere though.
Suns are playing.
Oh, damn, I'm looking right at it. Duh, okay.
Suns are playing. And that's me being nice. I'm curious what Booker does as a number one option this year. When he was the number one option, he had Chris Paul and Ayton. They went to the finals, lost to Milwaukee, and ever since then, it's been downhill. Sacramento, right? Sabonis is going to be great for my parlays this year, but other than that, I have no interest in Sacramento. But if you are betting, Darrell, take the over on Sabonis in points plus rebounds or just rebounds. He's part of my parlay team.
He's a stat whore, absolutely.
Yeah, so I like Sacramento in I don't know tier, but I agree with you, right? I think Portland can make the play-in. I think they can make the play-in if some injuries rock their way. I like
Chauncey Billups, man. I like Chauncey Billups. His boy.
I don't like that they traded Anthony Simons at all, but it's okay. I still like Shaedon Sharpe. They just paid him, I think, too. So I think Sharpe is going to have a great year. I really think New Orleans. I'm ready to drop them down in draft lottery, but I'm being nice.
Zion lost weight, man. Zion lost weight. There you go.
We hear it every year.
All that matters, right? If you lose weight,
every year,
it's a guarantee, right? That's a precursor for later on. If you lose weight, you're a winner, right?
Kings are deep. I don't disagree with you, but there's just nobody there that there's nobody there that's gonna take the Bulls by the horn, and that's kind of how I feel at this point with Sacramento. They don't have De'Aaron. And I feel like that for me is it kind of kills my confidence in them for sure. Zach LaVine will play good. Sabonis will play good. DeMar DeRozan will play good. But other than that, I'm just kind of like, it's just a bunch of pieces thrown together. I thought they were going to move Sabonis this offseason, and he did not get moved. But I do agree here, right?
I can't hear you.
There we go. My mic. I hit my mic cord and it knocked it loose. Okay. But I want to go and play in tournament tier. I've got the Clippers and I've got the Suns. Reason I have them in here is I think both of these two teams. The Suns isn't about injuries. The Clippers is about injuries, right? Kawhi will be out. Harden will steady the ship. They brought in Bradley Beal. They brought in Brook Lopez. They've got on paper. They make the playoffs. They're going to be a dark horse again, right? They're going to take a Nuggets to 7 games. They're going to take a Minnesota to 7 games. But will they make it, right? Will the health be there? Will Bradley Beal get hurt? Will Harden get hurt? Will Kawhi get hurt? Brook Lopez in the playoffs. He's going to come off the bench because Zubac, but I think the Clippers will make the playoffs, but right now I'm not too confident in them like a lot of other people are. And then Phoenix is probably, I don't know, tier, but I'm trying to be, I think roster-wise, I like them better than a lot of the teams below them, other than maybe Memphis and Portland.
Yeah, for me, I would drop the Spurs.
Clippers do have CP3 too
to play in. The Clippers got a good team. I know we say, well, they're going to be hurt. Kawhi's this, Kawhi that. They're going to be. We're talking about getting to the playoffs. We're not talking championship teams. But I like the Warriors. I think the Warriors take a little bit of a step back this year. I do. I think Jimmy Butler with that team, I just don't think is a great fit. Yeah, they re-signed Kuminga to a 2-year deal. So now all's happy. So now what's changed now? He wasn't in your rotation last year because of the way he played. I don't see anything different with regard to Kuminga in this season versus last season, other than the fact his bank account got bigger. So from my take and my I think that the Warriors take a little bit of a step back. I think there's going to be some conflict there in Golden State, and it wouldn't surprise me if they do take a step back. With the Clippers, I think the Clippers are a playoff team, not a play-in team. I think you got them you undersold them. I think you're overselling the Spurs. Again, yeah, you got a 7'5" foot, 3-year guy and all those wonderful things, but I still think they're about a late blooming playoff team to play-in team. Here we go. You'll be whining come December.
Days of our Lakers. We'll have the Young and the Laker list back in a couple weeks. I got to get the graphic uploaded to StreamYard, but what do we got? Eli, Mavericks are super scary when Kyrie comes back. I agree with you. I think for the Mavericks, it's once again a question of health. How many games is AD going to play this year? How many games is Derek Lively going to play this year? Can they stay healthy? Is my biggest question.
They play defense. That's the difference. They play
defense. But I think health is another big factor for them, which is why I have them down here at the bottom of the tier in the playoff tier. I've got the Lakers ahead of them for now. I do think the Lakers lose tomorrow night to the Warriors. I think the Warriors shoot them out the building, to be quite honest with you. The Lakers' three-point shooting is going to be a question this year. I think for me, we'll see how they do. No Bron on opening night. Bron won't be back till about November. It's the Luka show, so we'll see how Luka and AR do.
He lost weight, so he's definitely going to be a defensive stopper.
He's gonna be a monster. Look, when Curry comes up the court, he's gonna hit one of these right here. All right, he's gonna be ready to go. He's gonna hit one of those. He's gonna get down. He's gonna sit, and he's gonna play some good defense tomorrow night. And I'm ready to watch it. I get off work at 10 o'clock, so I will be watching that as well. And for the first time in a while, Darrell, I will be rooting for Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets tomorrow night to beat the Thunder, because I'm still not over the finals as a Pacers fan Pacers fan. I got the Rockets here in this playoff team tier. Rockets would probably be in the championship tier, but I do think, and I think we've talked about this, I think a lot of people are underestimating the injury of Fred VanVleet.
No, I think we're overestimating it. I think you're overestimating it. Yeah. Because again, like we talked about, the kid from Kentucky is going to slide in there. You don't need a Chris Paul in his fifth year point guard. You just need somebody to say the shit. They got scores. They got a coach who's going to make sure you're going to play defense. I think we're overestimating Van. I'm not saying Van Fleet won't be missed, but I wouldn't take them from a championship contender and not because of Fred VanVleet not being in for the season. I wouldn't do that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You and Eli can agree on that. Reed Shepherd.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't need to be great. He doesn't need to be great. He just needs to be good and steady. And that's exactly what VanVleet been. Yeah. Good and steady.
Luka and who? He has no one. He's got AR. He's got Ayton. Rui. I'm hoping Rui can produce. We'll see what happens. I think the big thing for me,
he produced in the preseason, so that definitely means he's going to produce in the regular season.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm talking about last season. But I think the big question for me is Dalton Connect. Is he over this trade or is he not? What is the mindset of Connect now? Because I feel like he never got over getting traded.
Follow him on Twitter? Huh? You follow him
on what?
On Twitter, on X.
I don't follow him. I don't know.
Follow him and ask him. Maybe he'll tell you.
I doubt it. I'm hoping Connect is good, is in the right mindset, because we are going to need him to knock some shots down off the bench this year. So I'm excited for tomorrow night. I do think Golden State will win. I don't know if it'll be a blowout. Hopefully it's a close game. But I'm not expecting a win tomorrow night. And yes, Ayton, Reeves, Connect, Hachimura. I mean, the Lakers aren't bad.
You can name every player on every team if you want to make it sound like they're difference makers. We can go through. Hell, we can name every player on the New Jersey Nets. I don't mean they're a good team. It's just the fact: are they going to be any better than they were last year?
Now I do.
And I'm talking about those individual players. Have you gotten better? And then for me, since we're talking about the Lakers, what about your coach? What about your sassy coach?
No, he'll be good.
Has he matured? Has he matured now, or is he, or when it gets tough, is he going to walk out of a press conference again?
Oh, sometimes you got to walk. Sometimes you got to make a statement, and you got to walk out.
You remember any other NBA coach doing that last year?
I'm sure somebody did. It wasn't talked about.
Can you remember off the top of your head? Because I can't.
I cannot. But I'm sure somebody else did it, and the only reason it was put on the headlines is because of the Laker logo.
or the fact that Lakers maybe made a mistake in hiring guys who didn't have coaching experience, and who wet the bed in the playoffs when it came to time.
I was very vocal about the playoffs. I think Redick coached a hell of a season, and he wet the bed come the playoffs. We'll see how he does in the playoffs. I want to move over to San Antonio because Darrell.
I want to keep talking about the Lakers.
Now you want to talk about the Lakers? Okay, what else do you want to talk about? What else do you want to talk about with the Lakers?
I'm kidding. Keep going. I promise you. I know this. I know for the next 5 months, there's going to be enough Laker conversation. Believe me.
I know. I'm ready to go tomorrow night.
Hey, we're going to lose so many followers talking about the Lakers all season. Lord have mercy.
Hey, Lakers gave us 700 views a couple of months ago, so. I don't know.
But people love seeing them, the futility.
Yeah. We're bona fide first take sometimes. It's okay though.
No, we're not.
I've got the Spurs also. I've got them at the top of this playoff tier because Eli. I'm curious to see what you think. I don't know if you've heard me say this yet. The Spurs will be in the 2026 Western Conference Finals. They will be in there. That is my prediction at this moment in time. That is my hot take. I do believe that the Spurs will be in the Western Conference Finals in 2026 this season. Not finals. I'm not saying they even win the Western Conference Finals. I'm saying they get to the Western Conference Finals. That's all I'm saying. They're not going to win it. They may not. If they win it, I can't say said they were going to win it until I know who that matchup is. All I'm saying right now is that they will get there. And I think Wemby is an MVP dark horse candidate at this moment in time. I think Dylan Harper coming off the bench is going to be great. I think De'Aaron Fox is going to continue to be the Pippen to Wemby's Jordan this season. I think De'Aaron Fox is going to play really well. Stephon Castle is going to keep hooping. He's going to keep hooping like he did last season. You know, they got hit with the Chris Paul touch, and now this team's ready to go. So give me the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals this year. You're talking about put them in play-in tier.
Well, if that's the case, you need to put them in line one then.
Well, I'm going to wait a little bit. You never know. Wemby could get hurt.
Everybody could get hurt.
You
need to either put Houston, or San Antonio on the top line.
I'm not putting either right now. I'll wait and see.
But you just said they're a Western Conference Finals team. That's a contradictory. That's contradictory.
Okay.
The top line are finals chances. If you're in the NBA, if you're in the Western Conference Finals, you got one series to go before you're in the finals.
Deep, young, well coached. See, I agree. I'm not moving them there yet, right? I mean, it's still a game.
So you don't believe? So you don't?
Whoa! It hasn't tipped off yet.
Right, you're right. It hasn't tipped off. So you don't believe what you just said about the Spurs?
I said Western Conference Finals in appearance.
Right.
That championship contender up there is for teams that I think can make the finals.
How can three of those teams almost make the finals when you're telling me the Spurs are going to be playing against one of them?
Because the Spurs will lose to one of those three teams up there, in my opinion. Right now, that could change. That could definitely. Okay. Well, I don't know. Honestly, they could probably beat Minnesota, but the other two, I don't know about that. I don't know if they're beating the other two. I got to be honest with you. It's all about matchups. Who can match up with the Nuggets and Thunder? I agree. I think right now I like the Nuggets a little bit more than the Thunder, but I do got the Thunder first, obviously. Like, come on, I'm not going to do – they're the defending champs. I do hope Houston beats them tomorrow. Minnesota, I mean, you've been to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. Ant's young. Like, he'll get back here again and again and again, it feels like. But at some point, you got to win it. And he has not come close in 2 years that he's been there. Luka and the Mavs beat him. Thunder beat him, and they were both handedly beaten both times. So for Ant, he's got to continue to step up. Denver had one of the best off seasons, in my opinion. I think Denver is going to be even better than what they were last year. You know, Jokic was basically coaching the team at some point last year. My favorite series other than the NBA Finals was Denver and OKC. So I cannot wait to watch Denver and OKC this season, just in the regular season alone. I really like Denver this year. I think they have a real good chance to get back to the finals. Yes, Shea won the MVP, but the best player in the NBA still resides in Denver, Colorado, Darrell.
No, I agree with you 100%, man. I think they made some good moves, and they meaning Denver made some good moves in the offseason to kind of getting Michael Porter Jr. All the way out
Eli,
east.
what's funny? I don't know what I don't.
He was Michael Porter Jr. Is a very good player, but it just wasn't working in Denver. They sent him out to New Jersey, where careers go to die. I think them getting those players back in return is going to bode well for them. And I think as long as you got a healthy Jokic, he's never been athletic, so it's not like he's lost some of his athleticism. He's never been athletic. He's just a baller.
Yeah,
so yeah. I like Denver. I like them as a better team this year than last year.
Yeah, I do too. I really do. I think like worst case scenario for me, probably Lakers are probably in the play-in. But I mean, things could completely flip, right? Like there was a point where the Lakers were all the way down to 7th, and then they jumped back up to 3rd, and then obviously they lost to Minnesota. But still, I mean, the West is going to continue to move up and down through the course of the year. 3 through 11 is probably going to be like a bloodbath at some point this season. I can't wait. Everybody's like, well, there's 82 games. Why do you care about the first one? Because, man, I love basketball. Like, I love football. Don't get me wrong. But basketball is where, like, like Wednesday when all those games are being played, I'll probably have a bunch of tabs pulled up on my computer with streaming sites to watch these games, man. I can't wait. I'm so excited to watch the Wizards. I'm excited to watch the Rockets. I'm excited to watch the Lakers. I'm excited to watch Denver. I literally cannot wait to watch everybody, except Utah and Brooklyn.
Fair enough.
Who are you excited to watch though? Because I know, right? You said when we first started this pod, you said only teams I really watch are the Pacers. Is there any teams that maybe aren't contenders, but you're excited to watch a little bit?
I'm not gonna lie for the podcast, man. Listen,
I've
said this for years. I've slowly but surely I've lost love for the NBA game. I've always had love for the Pacers. However,
you did say the playoffs reignited it a little bit.
Exactly. However, last season, not just the Pacers run, it gave me some hope. My hope is though that the shenanigans, guys throwing themselves on the floor, a lot of histrionics, the selling of calls and all of that crying. I hope that can continue to slow down. And I hope they start calling the rules they put in place for the players. If it's a rule against flopping, that and it's notice the guys flopping, it should be not just a foul, but I think they're supposed to be getting a tech or additional foul or something. Call the rules. That's all I'm asking. Call the rules. If you want people to continue to go back to loving the NBA, yeah, I know you love the NBA, but the nation doesn't love the NBA. The nation loves this football thing we got going. And just remember, we're in the week 7 of the NFL. We got 10 more weeks to go. So there's going to be a lot of football in here as well. I just hope that the NBA can capture what they had in the playoffs and bring it to the regular season without a lot of the storylines of Young and the Restless. I hope that can happen. If so, there will be a heck of a lot more games I'll watch. And I even plan on maybe watching, 10 to 20 games in their entirety that doesn't consist of the Indiana Pacers.
There you go, Darrell. I'm proud of you. We're gonna we'll continue.
I'm getting there.
I'll continue to help you watch some other games as well. But Eli says Mavericks Cavs NBA Finals. It's a possibility. I think the big thing for me, right? I haven't seen Kyrie and AD in a number one option spot in a while. So
Kyrie is the system. It doesn't matter. That he's never been anywhere other than Boston where he didn't look like he fit. Because they had established guys that were there and he was coming on board. But Kyrie is the system. I promise you, Anthony Davis is going to play great alongside Kyrie when he comes in back ready to play.
Eli, if you're asking for thoughts on the Warriors, I think they'll be all right. I think they'll play fine. Darrell thinks they'll regress a little bit, but I think whoever they meet in the playoffs, they'll give them a 6-game, 7-game series. Now, will they win? I don't know, because this time you're not going to be. There's not the only young team you're going to play this year is the Spurs and the Thunder, and the Thunder just won a championship. So nobody is going to be tough.
Three best players for Golden State are all over 35.
Yeah. We'll see. Curry's going to hoop. Hey, Lakers are going to win opening night. We will see what happens. If you want, real quick before we go off, because we said we capped this at about an hour. If you need some help on your parlays, go ahead and mark this down. Giannis, take his over, points plus rebounds plus assists. Shaedon Sharpe, take his over on points. Jordan Poole, take his over on points as well. Domantas Sabonis, always put over on Sabonis's points plus rebounds, or do just rebounds. Who else am I thinking? Donovan Mitchell, take his over on points. That is kind of my main group of picks right there. So make sure if you need some help, those are the guys that I would recommend picking. Specifically, Sabonis and Giannis. They seem to never fail me last year, and Jokic as well. Jokic is a very good one as well. Darrell, any last words here, NFL or NBA? Any thoughts on my tier list this week?
I think we're gonna have a betting episode too. I think we should have a parlay episode. We'll call it Jimmy the Greek's Greek. You don't know who that is, you can Google him and you can see who I'm talking about. But Jimmy the Greek's Greek. Since you got Zay's ways, I'm gonna go Jimmy the Greek's Greek. Those of us that are over 40 years old know who I'm talking about. So that'll be fun to see.
Thoughts on the tier list this week? NBA or NFL? NBA first one.
I like it, man. You're putting work in. We don't have to agree on everything, and we shouldn't, right? But it's not comprised for us to disagree with each other. Yeah, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of these things, and that's okay because as the season goes, things will pan themselves out anyway.
Yeah, NBA probably won't be a weekly tier list like the
NFL we got it's a long season,
but NFL
every couple of weeks. Let's go every couple of weeks.
NFL will continue to be a weekly reveal. NBA probably won't be. You may get an update on this after the first week of games just to overreact a little bit, but other than that,
we never overreact. We never overreact.
Probably won't see this tournament. You probably won't see this tier list again after that until probably in-season tournament starts or end of it. So we'll see what happens. But that is going to do it. Thank you to Eli for interacting with us today on the live stream. Thank you to the people that were watching on Instagram. We actually had a lot of people. My coworker said Lakers are going to flop. Wonderful. So shout out to Eric. He was watching on Instagram. Thank you to everyone on X for the support. Thank you to Corey Alford yesterday. Thank you to Cascade Hoops Talk. And once again, thank you to the man, Mack Gadis, our local State Farm insurance agent, for helping us. You see all of this, right? The share screen, the banner, the logos, everything. He's helped us kind of upgrade all of this equipment. Darrell, anything you got to say before we dip out?
Hey, special shout out to my guys at Hog HQ. They're another podcast down south in Arkansas. My boy Dalla, DP, gave a shout out to the Game Time podcast yesterday. His guys do a great job talking SEC football. They got a lot of knowledge. They got some insight there. So if you get an opportunity, take a look at the Hog HQ. I think they're on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and also I think they're on X as well. So follow those guys. They do a good job down there. Shout out to my boy. So appreciate the love.
Awesome. Shout out Hog HQ. I watched a little bit of them last night while watching the Niners and Falcons game. Enjoy Monday Night Football tonight. Enjoy the NBA. It's back tomorrow. Sports is full-fledged ahead, folks, and we'll be covering every step of the way. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back for more right here on the Game Time Podcast.